So you have a tender read and you love overlanding. You have plans to do it big on the trails and some super glamping. One ideas, deep news and reviews, a podcast the first rate and here just for you. You don't have to think about it, join us and be about it. Something interesting we want to hear about it, come on let's talk about it. Welcome to Waypoint Overland's Random Waypoints Podcast.
Sponsored by Midland, communication for every adventure, the industry leader in radio communication technology and innovation for over 50 years. Sponsored by MyMedic. Sponsored by Tembo Tusk. Sponsored by Shower Pouch. Sponsored by DeMoss Collective, mission built and made for mobility. Sponsored by BrewTrek. Sponsored by Hard Impact Designs.
Always remember, the opinion you follow should be your own. Just consider the things stated here to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Oh, Phil, another Monday here. So how's it going?
I'm in a very, very good mood. I'm looking forward to getting out the house in a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir.
Did you make your coffee?
I sure did.
So for everybody who's listening, we're going to kind of do a taste test today. We're on different ends of the country, but we both are drinking the same exact coffee, right?
We sure are.
Well, let me verify that. What are you drinking?
I am drinking Deep Canyon coffee, the Canyon blend.
Yes, deep medium style, correct?
That is correct.
And
Yes, sir.
so my first question before we get into the actual coffee is, how did you make your coffee?
So I do it different ways. Today, I used a Bodum because well, it's a long story. I'm sitting in an empty condo right now. I've moved 85% of my stuff into the new rig. I'm in the process of moving in. So I made the coffee actually in the rig and then walked over here to the condo. So.
Okay, everybody doesn't know what a Bodum is, so clarify that.
It would be what else would I call it? It's a glass French press. That's the right word, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm. I also did a French press. Now, normally at home, we have a coffee maker. So if my wife makes coffee, she uses the coffee maker. If I make coffee, I use the French press. That's my favorite. So do you think there's a difference in making it different ways?
Yeah, there is. I do cold brew sometimes. I've got like a system to do that. I do. I think a lot of people know that I have an espresso machine in my truck, so I use the little pods. I've got a grinder. I've got everything. I've got every kind of coffee apparatus that you can. So it depends on my speed and mood, I guess. And I often drink. I'm also weird. I don't really like coffee super hot. So I tend to make it and then let it sit. So right now it's kind of perfect because it's been a little bit since I made it.
We're on the same page there. I don't like it cold. I just don't like it that bone chilling. I don't like that just scalding hot. I want to enjoy it.
Correct. Yeah, as do I.
Okay, so are you
kind of
drinking?
Like they talk about, ice cream. You're not supposed to eat ice cream super freaking cold either. Like it's got to be somewhere in the middle in order to properly taste things.
It's every time you talk about ice cream, I immediately think of Dots.
We don't like Dots. Too cold.
Okay, so are you drinking it black? Do you have a little sugar? What's going on?
I drink my coffee black.
Okay, so I'm using French vanilla and sugar.
Okay.
So I wanted to drink it the way I would drink every other coffee that I would drink.
Yep. Makes sense.
Although I have already drank the coffee before and had it black, but I don't like black coffee.
Gotcha. I'm one of those people because I live in a truck.
Mhm.
I like everything simple. I drink my coffee black. I'll eat hot dogs and hamburgers without condiments. It's just it's a whole a bunch of stuff to carry on board.
So this is what I used to make my coffee in for many years. It's just been sitting around now. It's still in excellent condition. Snow Peak percolator. It made excellent coffee. I think percolators are the second best way to make coffee.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I used it for so many years was, like I said, French is my favorite, but using a French press has always been a mess if you're outdoors and you're camping and things like that. And I also don't like when I'm serving other people. Some people don't like the grinds. So I just eliminate that and go with the percolator.
Yep.
But as you know, I've been using, this is what I used, the coffee press here. It's called an Overlander. No, I'm sorry. The other one, the smaller one I use is called the Overlander, but this is the one I use at home. And these are made by Brew Trek Gear. And the reason why I use these is because it's the first one I've ever used where once you press down the press, there's zero grinds. There's no grinds. And I can pour, it seals. So I can pour my coffee and let it sit there and it's not still cooking in those beans because it's separate.
So how does that work? Does it have like a double seal on it on the plunger thing, or how does that work?
Well, I'm about to find out right now. Believe it or not, I've never really looked that hard. It's got a seal.
Yeah.
But do you see that metal part?
Yeah.
It moves up and down, and once you push it down, it causes a vacuum.
Okay.
I don't know the exact science, but it's the only one I've ever, because a bunch of them always say, yeah, no grinds.
Oh, yeah. Then they leak.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And not only does it not have the grinds, but it seals it away so it's not still cooking. Yeah. Or I don't know what I'm not a coffee person, but there's a word for it, steeping or something.
Yeah, it's still chemically changing.
Right.
Now, let me ask you this, because I think some of it has to do with how you grind the beans too, right? Because there's different. Admittedly, I have, and I can't remember the brand right now. I think it's fairly cheap. An electric. I have an electric grinder. It plugs in by USB actually, and it does it fairly fine, but like not so fine. I think if it's too fine, I think it's when you have problems with the French press.
I agree. Now, I like to grind it a little coarser because it's a French press, like what you're saying.
Right.
But if you happen to have some already pre-ground and it's much finer, I've done that. And I haven't had any issues with grinds. And it's the only one. That's the only reason I like it. I mean, I like it because it makes good coffee, but the main reason, because I was using that percolator for years for that one reason.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm home, I can strain it afterwards.
Right. Right.
So what do you think of the coffee so far?
So I have had this a number of times. It's not my first. It's not my first Canyon blend from these guys. Michael is a good buddy. And what I find about their particular brand is that, and this is definitely one of the reasons I like it so much, is that it's not acidic. I really have an issue. So I like my coffee black, which is obviously going to be more prone to being able to taste acidity. I don't like acidic. I like my coffee. It's one of the reasons when I'm in a rush, I use my Nespresso machine, and it's got the, I don't know what you call it, centrifugal. It spins and makes it sounds like a plane taking off, and it comes out super creamy, not very hard, not very harsh, not very acidic. That's what I find about this Deep Canyon, which, by the way, I find a lot of blends, particularly you can go to some great grocery stores now that have huge coffee sections. And some of the stuff is expensive. And I find that it isn't to my taste. It's a little bit, particularly the stronger, because I do like strong coffee, particularly the stronger blends tend to be more acidic. That's what I find about this in particular. I myself like a little bit of a chocolatey overtone, and I think that this has that.
I agree with exactly what you said. I like a darker, stronger coffee, but I don't just not like it to be acidic. There's a reason for me. I get heartburn. I get like a heartburn feeling, and I don't enjoy that at all. It totally takes away the enjoyment of the coffee, no matter how good it tastes. And you can, I don't know how he does that, because I don't feel any acidity at all. Almost like he strained it out or something. I don't think he did, but
I don't know. I mean, I've had one of their other blends as well. Honduras, maybe, also very smooth. So, I mean, that's one of the things I find about Deep Canyon is it's super smooth.
One thing that stood out to me when I opened the bag was how oily the beans were. I mean, it looked like they had been dropped in lard. They were so oily.
Mm-hmm. Well, the bag seal's nice. It's a heavy duty. Well, I don't know what you want to call it. I guess you call it plastic, but I mean it's got a satiny texture to it, sort of.
It's a pretty heavy duty bag.
It's a heavy duty bag, and you're right.
And it reseals.
It reseals. It keeps its moisture in. Having spent, not that I'm a coffee expert by any means, but I have spent some time down in Honduras, Nicaragua, Guatemala in particular. And I took a Land Rover trip up to the coffee plantations. And a lot of people don't realize coffee generally, most of it anyways, grows on high terrain and very steep. It was an interesting, really, really, really interesting process to watch the people picking the beans, picking the coffee on the sides of hills. And then they take it down and it goes through, and like I said, I'm not an expert. I watched it go through this sorter, I call it, with water, and it separates them out. And I don't know. I watched this whole thing, fascinated by it. I want to go back at some point. Actually, I think at the time I was doing too many things, and I'd like to really actually learn the process. But it was amazing to me how labor actually intensive it is, and the terrain is crazy. We took this Land Rover up this dirt track, and scary. It was some scary off-roading, even to get up to where like the coffee's growing.
A lot of coffee companies, they like to, when they're sourcing them from places like Guatemala, the owners like to do like promo footage there of them. And I always see them on these real steep hills and mountains, but very beautiful.
You're absolutely stunning. Yeah. And the coffee, has these, they're like the little red, I call them red beans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's super pretty. I mean, and I think, at least my experience anyways, it's always like in a, I don't want to say a rainforest, but it's definitely in an area where weather can change very quickly. So you get rain and then it gets sunny. I'm assuming there's some science behind maybe even different kinds of coffees and the flavors that come out of that. But I guess we're gonna have to do more research on that.
Yes.
Or just go, Phil. I think maybe we just hit some coffee plantations, right?
I agree. That sounds like an excellent idea to me.
Yep.
I'm down.
Yep.
I love that idea. So I don't know how to ask my question. How would you classify this? Is this more Starbucks? Is it more diner coffee? Is it more, where would you put this? Because I have a thought about it.
Wow. I didn't think of it that way.
You know what I mean? Because like those are different flavors. Like there's diners have, like, you know what I'm talking about? There's a diner coffee flavor that you can't get anywhere but
it comes off the bottom of the pot. That's diner flavor.
No, I mean good diner coffee.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Starbucks, to me, it tends to be, and I don't want to, because being from New England, you'd be surprised to hear I can't stand Dunkin' Donuts. So I can't even set foot in that place. It's just awful. Can't do it. But Starbucks to me seems a little watery. There's a lot of different blends. And I tend to, if I go to Starbucks, I tend to get espresso. And I like that there, but they're I don't know what they call it. What's their regular coffee called? I can't remember. To me, it's a little thin. This is thicker.
They usually have two coffees. They have a coffee of the day which rotates, and then they have that standard one. And that standard one is like so safe.
Safe. That's a great word. Safe. Yes.
Like,
it's not going to offend anybody, but
right.
nobody's going, oh my God, this is the best coffee I've ever had.
And I go to Starbucks pretty regularly, but I never get the coffee. I get espressos. I get venti mochas and stuff like that.
Yeah, me too.
And I think they do good with those.
Yep.
Dunkin' Donuts is my wife's favorite coffee. I'm the Starbucks and she's Dunkin' Donuts. So, we used to live on the East Coast. She was in heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't do it. Although I would say it's maybe a step over Tim Hortons, but no, I'm not a Dunkin' fan. You know what? I mean, admittedly, some of it is I like iced tea. And their iced tea at Dunkin' Donuts, they make in the same pot, or at least it tastes like it, because it always has a coffee taste to their iced tea, which is not what you're looking for, obviously. And then the other thing I just don't really like about Dunkin' Donuts is their food. Their food is no. Anyways.
You mentioned Tim Hortons. You're old enough to maybe remember this. I remember many, many, many years ago, Tim Hortons used to have really good food. It's more like
Well, I mean, they have an unbelievable maple glazed donut. I can tell you that it's killer. But you're right. They had everything. They had like deli sandwiches and stuff.
It was like a real restaurant.
Yeah, I don't know if they still do it all.
It's more like a Dunkin' Donuts now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So this was not my first time drinking this coffee. You may not remember, but you remember when your buddy Mike was at Overland Expo and he was serving people coffee?
Yeah, that was last year at Pacific Northwest, right? I believe.
Yes. Not this year, last year.
Correct.
So I knew he had good coffee. That's why I was like, yeah, send the bag. I'll be glad to drink your coffee.
You can order this online, by the way, and get it shipped to you. They are out of North Carolina, correct? Phil's showing it down on the screen here, where you can look at if you're watching this video.
Yep, North Carolina. I wish I had took him up on, but didn't have time. When I was on the East Coast last year, he invited me to see the process, and just didn't have time.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Small batch. It's high quality, and you're not going to be disappointed. If you're a serious coffee drinker, you'll not be disappointed in this.
So I like full disclosure. How did this coffee get in our hands, and why are we drinking it and everything?
So Michael lives in Montrose, Colorado, and his family actually has this deep canyon. He's and I met him actually in the overland world. And then and he's got a nice piece of property in Montrose where he actually, other than coffee, he also designs and fabs and works on overland rigs. So check him out in Montrose. And in any case, that's how we hooked up originally. And I actually stayed there and camped in his yard there for, oh God, I don't know how many more than a month. And then we spent actually, that picture you see behind me is in Utah, west of the Green River, near on the other side of the river, actually, from Moab. And I was there with Michael out there. So that's what the view you're looking at is.
It's a beautiful shot. So are you a coffee or a tea guy?
I am.
When you have the choice.
Coffee. I'm a coffee. Well, so factoid on Mike. I did not drink coffee until I was, I don't know, mid-40s. I never drank coffee. Nope. I loved this flavor, the smell of coffee. I love coffee ice cream. I never drank coffee. Ever.
Okay.
This is like a new thing for me. Mm-hmm. And I was a big iced tea guy. I still drink a lot of iced tea, actually. But coffee, like I said, I don't really like it super hot. But I will usually do like a double espresso or a big coffee in the morning. And I don't drink it too much later in the day, although I can. It doesn't seem to keep me up.
So what are you drinking out of? Is that a new cup?
No, these are my old little camp mugs. They all beat up here. It's on the bottom. Drive the Globe camp mugs. I take those. They were in my truck. Like I said, I'm in the process of moving in.
So talk about that, man. What's going on?
So I am 98% done with the build. I am basically I have to install the heating system, the cabin heater in the truck. That's the only thing left that I have to actually do. All systems are operational. All water is working. All electric is working. The fridges are on. The oven's on. The inside is done. The outside is getting its last stuff this week, which is the roof rack and stuff on the Atlas Metalworks is doing for me. But the outside is done. So, and I'm largely moved in. All my clothes and my food and utensils and kitchen stuff and all that crap is in. The only thing that's not in really is my mattress. So I haven't moved in, slept there yet, but I'm close. So then it's just punch list items. So I have about a week and a half, 2 weeks before I have to head out on the road. Just punch list, just stupid stuff like looming electric and zip tying things and, caulking holes. Cause, in a mad rush to get this done, there's a bunch of holes that haven't been caulked and stuff like that. But you would not notice if you were looking at it. If I was parked at Overland Expo right now and people came on board it or outside of it, they would think it's done.
Okay.
And it's been now released to the public, so everybody knows what it looks like, and everybody knows that it's a 6-wheel drive, stored in Stevenson. And I haven't released inside pictures yet, but that's coming.
All right, make sure I get some of those pictures. I wanted to talk about Glacier National Park.
Mm-hmm.
You've done Going to the Sun Road, right?
Yep.
As well as millions of other people. I always recommend.
Best drives in America, by the way.
Absolutely. One of the, what would you say, top 20, top 10, top 5?
I think it's in the top 5. That's one of my top 5 favorites.
I agree. I feel so fortunate to be so close to it. And one of the things that bothered me was the new reservation system and everything. So I've had conversations about it with people, and a lot of people were like, yeah, well, I'm not going to do it this year because of the reservation system. So I think it's deterred a lot of people. It's deterred me somewhat. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to mention that on September 10th, the park 2023 vehicle reservation pilot program ended. So there's no reservations for the rest of the year as long as the weather doesn't change, and then they shut down Going to the Sun for the year. So if you're in the area or if you're headed there in the next few weeks, because the area, it's going to snow soon.
That's what people don't realize, that Going to the Sun Road is not open that long. The season is pretty short because it very rarely opens before mid-July. It's usually too much snowpack up there, and they take for. I mean, it maybe opens as early as June 15th, and I think this year it opened July 20th or something. Like it varies, but
July is like you should make any long-term plans before July. Like right. If you're going to go the next year.
Correct. So really, what you're really talking about is it's a 2-month window. It's only open 2 months. And like you said, it's going to snow up at the top, and they'll shut it down in stages. So they don't shut down the whole thing. They'll shut down the top, the pass, and then it backs down to the next. I forget where they usually. There's like 2 or 3 different layers that they'll shut it down to. Even when I was there, when was I there last? Was it last year? I guess, yeah, it was last year, not this year, but last year I was there in late June, and it was not open yet. I went up it to the top, to the farthest you could go up, and it wasn't open the whole way. Yeah, and then, of course, you got to remember, during COVID, for 2+ years, it was shut down anyways because you couldn't transit over the top onto the reservation on the other side. So it has largely been closed. Quite frankly, it's been closed for like 3 or 4 years.
And even though it was closed, I went to Montana. I drove to the other side. And when you got to that Indian reservation, you had to just drive through.
Yep.
You could get gas. You couldn't go to the grocery store. You could get gas, and you had to mosey on.
Yeah. So anyways, I mean, it's obviously disappointing that it has reservation now. I've been meaning to do in the beginning of the season when they first open it. I believe the first day, maybe it's 2 days, they let cyclists go before they let cars on it. And you can ride it over. I've been wanting to do that for years, but I've not done that. That would be quite a ride.
Well, I got some secrets that I can tell you offline to still do Go into the Sun and defeat the reservation system. But we'll have to have that conversation offline.
Yeah. And I'm going to do it on, I can't do it with my truck. It's too big.
Oh, no.
So, because I don't quote me on this. I believe it's 25 foot, I think is the cutoff. That could be the park. I'm not sure. The road might be shorter than that. No, I don't know.
And I think there's a, if you're coming from McDonald's, is that McDonald's? Lake McDonald? If you're coming from that direction, there's like a little switchback before you go up.
Yes.
I don't think you could make that. And it would be hard for people to get past you because it's barely wide enough for two regular vehicles.
Right. Yeah. I don't recall what the limit is on it, but there is a limit. So check that if you have a larger overland rig or a trailer. I'm not sure they let trailers either.
I don't recall ever seeing a trailer, but I don't know for a fact, but I can't, that's not the place for a trailer.
Not really. No, no.
Something else for Glacier National Park, one of the fortunate things for me living in the Pacific Northwest, where I live right now, I live right in the path of one of the biggest migratory routes for birds coming from the north, period. One of the second ones is going right through Glacier National Park with the not just eagles, but all types of raptors and hawks and stuff like that. Each year in the fall, golden eagles migrate from northern breeding grounds to warmer climates. One of the most important North American golden eagle migration routes passes directly through Glacier National Park along the Continental Divide. And October 10th, I believe, let me pull this up. Glacier National Park will be having its Mount Brown Hawk Watch program October 14th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it'll be at the Lake McDonald Lodge. And the reason I'm mentioning this is if you're in the area, this is something awesome to do. There's going to be a couple of hours taken where they'll be counting and you'll be able to participate. They'll be counting how many raptors they find, how many golden eagles in particular they're very interested in. And I don't know if you've ever experienced this before, but like usually people are really hyped when they see one eagle sitting on a totem pole or something or in a tree. Well, if you go to this, it's literally more raptors in the trees than there are leaves.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen quite a few. I was going to say that I've seen quite a few different birds of prey in Glacier and along that whole strip up there. It's pretty common. So there's definitely, I didn't realize that there was certain times of the year. I guess they're heading down south to be warm. And all the birds that are going by you, Phil, by the way, are heading to Baja.
Yeah, I don't know. It's some kind of little drainage pool like a block away from me. And so it kind of looks like it's a marsh or something. Right. And they stop. Mm-hmm. I mean, thousands of birds stop at this place.
Yeah, it's like us stopping for a cup of coffee. It's their stop on the way wherever they're going that day.
Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to mention that October 14th from 11 to 3 p.m. If you're near Glacier, this will be something awe-inspiring to see and to participate in. I also recommend in January coming here because we experienced the same thing. We get all the eagles from Alaska and Canada and the cranes and all the different animals. And you can go into the Northern Cascades and like I was saying with the trees, I mean, there's literally more birds in the trees than there are leaves. I mean, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. So just something to think about. It's getting toward fall now, and a lot of people start shutting down, and there's still a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear about the rim to rim hiker that died at the Grand Canyon National Park?
Saw that, yeah.
I almost want to stop reporting on these things, but I don't understand. some of the things that people do. And he's not the first person I've ever seen do something like this. They just live to tell the tale, or someone found them before they died. When I was living in Vegas, I would go to Death Valley, and I'd always see like some guy running or some lady running, and there's no chase car, there's nobody, nothing. They by themselves. They just parked their car and started running.
Yep. There's it's people, I think, underestimate Mother Nature and the remote and inhospitable environment that many of these places are in, which is one of the reasons that makes them so beautiful.
Yeah, according to what they say, he was on the north side, so he could have literally gone days without somebody seeing him, depending upon where he was.
Absolutely. Yeah, probably weeks.
I wanted to mention one more thing, Mike, as far as dates. You familiar with Jasper National Park? I'm confident of that. It's too close to home. Well, from now until mid-October, Jasper National Park will have what's called its Elk Rut Festival. And during this time, it's not a formal thing. It's not like a real festival. But this is when the elk are doing their rut. So you get to hear them make that funny noise that they make. Yeah. I don't know what it's called, but they have a unusual, and it's mating season. So you'll get to see a lot of things that you normally wouldn't see. And it's right across the border. And if I'm right, you can drive through a portion of Jasper National Park without actually visiting it, right?
In
the south.
From the south side, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
It like makes a loop, and it goes right back down into America again.
Correct.
So if you were ever interested in seeing them rut, to see mating season, to see how they group together and fight and group together and make harems, it's an excellent time. And that's in mid-October. And that was it. It was just some things I wanted to mention. Sometimes people are wondering what to do, ideas of things to do, and there's always something to do.
And then if you don't want to see rutting and you don't want to go driving some beautiful road, you could come see Phil and I at Overland Expo in Virginia on October 6th through the 8th, that weekend. And then the following weekend, moon landing in, well, I don't even know what it's called, in the middle of nowhere, New Mexico.
Skyview, New Mexico.
Skyview, New Mexico. It's about 2 hours west of Albuquerque. That weekend, come have some fun with us in New Mexico.
What kind of fun?
Well, I'm going to be putting on a show for my new truck. There is going to be, I'm sure there's going to be beer I saw from La Cumbre Brewing out of Albuquerque. There is going to be music, live music. There's going to be tattoo artists and breath work and, yoga and all sorts of stuff to keep you entertained. There's going to be a solar eclipse that weekend. If you're into watching the sky, there is going to be just a lot of relaxed camaraderie with van lifers, overlanders. Jerry from Tembo Tusk is going to be there. Just a lot of cool people to hang with and no work. I'm going to be doing Friday afternoon at 2:30. I'm going to be doing a little demo on my electric system on board the truck for those that are building or interested, talking about the Go Power systems that I've got, from the solar to the inverter to the batteries to how it all works and what you might or might not need on board your rig. So A lot going on there. And we're going to be cooking and eating.
Oh, we're going to be feasting. I want to kind of hold on to the part that you said about the crowd that's going to be there. That's the selling point.
Yep.
This is going to be where all the cool kids are, period. If you're not there, you're square. It's that simple.
And it's simple. It's kind of like it's the cool kids that you also can occasionally see at some of the more formal events, but they're usually working. And when I say working, I mean, everybody's definition of work is different, but when I say working, they're doing social media, they are presenting, they may be instructing, they may be, whatever. This is an opportunity to meet and greet where nobody's working. They're just hanging.
So that's a roundabout way, guys, of him saying, so the content creators that you meet at some of these events, you'll actually finally really meet the real person.
Yep.
They won't have on their mask.
That's right. That's right. So, and I'm really looking forward to the weekend before that at Overland Expo in Arlington, Virginia. It's going to be awesome. A lot of people talking about that show. If anything, if it was at all like last year, it's going to be great. It was really busy last year. Crossing fingers for good weather there, of course, in Northern Virginia there, or I guess it's Southern Virginia, actually. I don't know. Because occasionally we can get a hurricane or something, but we will be there for that. It's going to be fun. I will be in the creator area, speaking of creators, at the Overland Expo East show.
Are you teaching any classes this year?
Stay tuned. I actually don't think I am. This may be the first time I'm not, but stay tuned. That could change.
Okay. All right. So, Mike does not like to prepare for these things. He likes for me to just throw stuff at him.
That way I can give you my honest opinion without thinking about it.
Okay.
Like last week, I said, God, that's a stupid looking car.
Okay. So we're going to do a couple of random lists. And I'll tell you what both of them are. The first one is going to be the top 5 tourist attractions a visitor to America should see. So here's the scenario.
A foreigner coming to the States.
Right. And it's a friend. So you
Okay. Hey, that's important to know. I was going to send them to downtown Baltimore, but we'll skip that.
So, and he's going to, maybe get one of those rental RVs that you can get with the murals on the side or whatever.
I know.
Okay, he's going to rent a Lexus or something.
Okay, you got to rent something other than that thing, boy. Okay. I'd be embarrassed driving around in a white, nasty-looking RV with the picture of the Grand Canyon on it. Might as well be a U-Haul truck. I mean, you could get a U-Haul truck cheaper, so you might as well just rent a U-Haul truck and drive around.
Okay, so give me your top 5 tourist attractions for a friend from another country. He
never came to the U.S. before?
You threw a monkey wrench in there for me.
Because if they've come to America,
they've never been to America, and they may never be back. They're on a world. They're traveling the world. They're coming here for 60 days, and they may not have time to come back. They're so busy.
Okay, fair enough. Top 5. Wow, that's hard, Phil. That is super duper hard. Mine's going to be a little bit weird. I think you're going to be surprised.
Okay.
I don't know what all 5 of them are, right? So I'm thinking as we go because I'm on the spot. Okay. These are not in order. These are 5. They're not in order. I would say New York City. I think, and that's a general thing, but I think you've got to go as somebody that's not come to America if you're going to take a city in America and get the jet vibe, New York City.
Okay. I would absolutely put that as my top 5 cities for them to visit. But this is tourist attractions. So it can it can be New York, but it has to be something in New York, like maybe a memorial site for the Twin Towers or the Statue of Liberty. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. So you want specific.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
A tourist attraction.
Okay. Well, then I would say the Statue of Liberty Ellis Island tour, for me was fascinating because it gives you a lot of background and a lot of history of America in general. And it was the thing that a large group of our ancestors here saw first.
I think that's excellent. Okay, you got 4 more to go.
Okay, well, let's go the polar opposite of New York City. I think a trip through Glacier National Park would be on there. If I had to pick a park in America, a national park, it's challenging because I think my gut feeling would say Grand Canyon. But I think Glacier, you're going to see a diversity. And to me, it's the, how would I word this? I want to say it's the least spoiled of the large national parks. That's, I'm going to go with that. That's 2.
Okay.
You want to be so specific. This is hard.
I'd be wanting to tell you in advance. You'd be like, no.
No. See, I'm going with places because then they can see like 17 things inside the same place. Like if they're going to go to the Statue of Liberty, they're going to obviously have to go to New York, so they're going to see that. Wow.
Okay, so my national park, it would be see Old Faithful at Yellowstone National Park. And I don't think Yellowstone is like not my favorite, but for a person visiting, they get like everything that you could get at other national parks. If you're looking for a great lodge, there's this great lodge. If you wildlife, you got the wildlife. You got a historic highway. You can fly fish. It's visually beautiful. You can see the backdrop of the Grand Tetons when you're. So it just covers a lot.
Yep.
But it's not my favorite national park. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. The only reason I didn't go with that or Grand Canyon, I think, is just that the volume of people, which
that's part of it to me. They're seeing that's a good example of America for them.
Yeah. True. God, let's see. So
we're both 1 and 1, or did you have 2 already, right?
No, I did 2. I did Statue of Liberty and Glacier.
Yeah, I really like that Statue of Liberty one. Me personally, the National Mall in DC. Oh no, I forgot. I'm not being specific. No, I take that back. Not the mall. The museums on the mall, the Smithsonian museums, because you will learn pretty much everything about America. If you want to know about our space program, go to that museum. You want to go learn about African history, go to that one. Jewish history, go to that one. Aerospace, go to that one. And they're all along the mall. And at least when I was living there, they were still free. I'm assuming that they're still free.
I don't know. I've been to all of them too, but I don't recall. Are they free? I did not know that.
They were always free.
Yeah,
for some like special things, you have to get like a ticket or whatever, but it was free. Yeah. That's what I loved about living in DC is on the weekends, almost everything that was happening to do was free, especially if it was on the mall. So I got my 2. It's time for you to be 3.
Wow.
So I've got one in New York too. Yours is better than mine. I think that's the ultimate, the one that you said. But if not that, Times Square or Central Park. But no, Times Square. I would tell them to visit Times Square.
Yep.
And if
it's
they're
just amazing, the lights.
Mm-hmm. And if we're talking about a world traveler, right? So it's also kind of historical. They'll be like, oh, that's where Singapore got this. That's where Japan. They'll start realizing that's where a certain style of downtown came from. Yeah. And it's an iconic place.
Yeah, this is hard. I would echo your. I would echo your Smithsonian, certainly Washington D.C. I was going to say the. I was going to say the Capitol, but also interesting was just a ton of history in DC. I mean, I guess we're trying to go historical here if they want to learn about America. Here's one I'm going to throw out there. I'd take a drive on Route 100 in Vermont during leaf season.
Yes.
There you go.
Touche, my friend. Yeah. Yeah. I want to do that.
Yep.
I want to do that right now.
Yep. Getting close. We're getting close, actually. This is a good time.
Okay, so you're up to 3. I got to come up with something else, and this is harder than I thought.
It's hard.
I was trying to think of like, see, everything that I'm thinking of is like something corny.
Well,
okay, let me look at what it was called again. My top 5 tourist attractions for a visitor to America should see.
See, if you told me top 50, I could be rattling them off. It's because it's only 5. It's hard because there's definitely a zillion things to see, and America is a big place. I mean, that's a challenge.
You're right. Because if I pick one thing, I've knocked 12 other things out of the, you know what I mean? See?
I'm going for flavors, meaning New York City and Statue of Liberty as a historical and a city environment. Glacier was the polar opposite. It's seeing what I'm going to call big America, wide open, huge America, outdoors, no people. The Vermont thing for me is like just beautiful. It's close to home. It's America started in New England. It started in the Northeast, basically. So you see old buildings, you see old colonial stuff. You see the beauty of not so big, meaning like Glacier has big mountains, kind of like the Rocky Mountains. East Coast Appalachian Mountains are very different.
We have to have 2 national parks. Grand Canyon.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely on the list for sure.
And I'm thinking the Las Vegas Strip, maybe.
So I was thinking of fun, and I'm gonna favor. I thought of Las Vegas Strip, but then I thought either one of 2 places, either like Music Row in Nashville.
That's it.
Or or Bourbon Street in New Orleans. But because I was there's a lot
They
of
both deserve to be on that list.
yeah, there's a lot of American historical through music and through other stuff, and they represent, and it gives you a chance to get your drink on and and whatnot. So it's a counterbalance to like visiting a national park.
I can't think. Little Opry, the Little Opry.
Grand Ole Opry
Yeah.
is there. Ryman in Nashville. Nashville, just in general, downtown, all along that strip there is amazing history.
I agree. And what's the famous Bat Makers Museum is there?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
baseball
right.
bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I think we came up with 5 apiece, right? Or do
Yep.
I still owe you one?
I don't know. We'll probably keep agreeing. We're probably having the same ones.
Okay, so this one should be easier for you, Mike.
Oh boy.
I've been working all my life. I got a little money in my pocket now. I got a little time. Mike, give me your top 10 tourist attractions for a world traveler to see.
Oh, I can rattle these off fast. I've been to all of them.
Okay,
Or the ones that I'm thinking of, anyways.
just make sure that you don't rattle off 10 and then you realize that you missed one. I want you to give me a good 10, your top 10.
Pyramids of Egypt is right on top of there. I would say Vatican, the Vatican City in general. I would go to Marrakesh in Morocco. See an old walled city. Oh boy. So that's that region.
So you know what I promise you I'm gonna do next time?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to know what we're gonna do. You don't have to research it, but I ain't doing this again. Because it's too hard to come off the cuff like this, like you.
Hard. Well, I mean, I could go fast, but you're right. I'm going to miss some. Red Square in Russia, amazing.
Tiananmen Square, okay. So let me give you the few that I do have. I've got
God, you got to go to
the Great Wall of China.
I have not been to the Great Wall of China.
The pyramids. Is it the Pachu Temple in Mexico and South America? The Pachu.
Yeah.
PICCH.
Machu Picchu.
Right, that's it. I'm sorry. Paris.
Yeah. Victoria Falls.
Galapagos Islands.
Yeah, and I've been there, so that should be on. I would have forgot that. Only because I'm thinking in my head, I'm thinking man-made here, sort of. That's what I've maybe.
Yeah. After I said it, I was like, no, you should go there, but no, that doesn't qualify for what we're saying.
Well, I said Victoria Falls in Africa. That same thing. That's natural. I mean, there's Angel Falls in South America.
I got one.
Amazon rainforest in general.
I got a good one, and you better go within the next 18 months. Venice.
Right, Venice is awesome. Yep. Well,
but they're saying now it's really, really sinking fast, where it may hit like a point where it doesn't just keep going down. It's going to go and then go boom. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, yeah, they're talking about the time is running out on going there. So that's why I think that's a good one.
Venice is amazing. Roman ruins throughout. Mediterranean in general, certainly the Acropolis, but then you can see some unbelievable things in all the countries that surround there.
And I think Rome, and more specifically, since an attraction, the Colosseum.
Mm-hmm. While we're talking about man-made things like that, Petra in Jordan is amazing.
Roger that. The Eiffel Tower, the Louvre. Yeah, this one's easier because I gave you more leeway with 10.
Yeah, Iceland in general, amazing.
Yeah, but again, we're contradicting ourselves. It has to be a tourist attraction there. You know what I mean? Because if I were to just tell somebody places to go, none of them would probably be tourist attractions.
Golden Gate Bridge.
Yes. I know this is me kind of cheating, but I kind of think San Francisco is a tourist attraction.
Yep.
I think that would educate you a lot about America. Mm-hmm. Seeing the opulence mixed in with the homelessness. Mm-hmm. I think that'd be shocking for some people.
Yep.
Because they think we all live in opulence.
Yep.
All right, Mike, I think that's a good list. Now, you've had some time with this coffee.
I've actually finished this coffee. Well, I got a couple sips.
Tell me what you think, bro.
Love it.
And I know this is your homie, but give me a very honest, detailed, articulate.
If you're into smooth coffee, hints of chocolate, hints of like some maybe caramel, don't like high acidity, fresh and local, meaning that like it's small batch. You can get it, they'll get it to you. They'll roast it and get it to you immediately. So it's not old beans. It's a winner. It's something that, and just the bag itself is premium. So you don't have to worry about it. And like Phil said, you open it up and it's like a moist, it's killer.
So, it looks like they put high gloss paint on every bean.
Right.
Well, to me, it's on the fence. It's an adult flavor. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I use that word is usually when coffees go into the direction of chocolatey or toffee or something like that, it becomes this sweet mess. You know what I mean? It almost tastes like maybe they put sugar in it or something like that. This is nowhere in that ballpark. Yeah, I can taste like a chocolate flavor to it, but it's a dark chocolate. It's not like a milk chocolate flavor. It's a more adult flavor, but not so adult where I don't like bitter coffee, but I don't want it to taste like candy either. And that's why I said it's right on the fence. Yeah, I've got a little flavor in there, but it don't taste like I'm drinking chocolate. Mm-hmm. It tastes like I'm drinking coffee, which does something for me mentally too. I know I'm drinking coffee, so that kind of helps to stimulate me, even so, like the caffeine itself.
Yep.
The other thing is I avoid certain foods and certain drinks specifically because of acidity and how my body reacts to it. Like I love orange juice, but I don't drink it as often as I want because it burns my inside out when I drink it. Yep. Same thing with pineapple juice. Although my wife just found a new pineapple juice from Trader Joe's that she's getting, and it's not acidic. Anyway, that's a big deal to me. And I think there are a lot of other people who don't drink coffee for that one reason.
Yep.
Or they only drink a certain coffee, or they don't drink a coffee as strong as they like for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think he picked good. He picked one that most people are going to like. This is a good quality adult coffee, and I don't think it would offend on whatever side you are. If you like a chocolatey flavor type coffee, it's there. If you don't like it to be overboard, it's there. It covers it covers everything. So I give it a thumbs up. I'll be drinking
coffee.
And I mean, that's not going to be the only coffee I ever drink, but this is absolutely, like, this package he gave me is 12 ounces, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to last 1 week, maybe 3 or 4 days with me. So tell Mike thanks for the coffee. Is he going to be at East? I'll tell him myself.
I don't know what his schedule is. Probably see him. I'm going to see more likely. Maybe I can get him to come down to Moon Landing.
That'd be cool. And just one last thing about coffee, why I enjoy doing this is, I think I've told you this before. I think that there is a solid portion of overlanders who their trip planning, their decisions on where they stop and go is connected to coffee. I think there are a lot of people, I am one of those people, who I literally, when I'm planning trips, I say, oh, I would love to be here and wake up and drink a cup of coffee. I literally am planning places that I want to have a cup of coffee. Do you ever do that?
Absolutely. Usually when I'm with you too, and we're thinking on the same page.
Mm-hmm. So that is a highlight to me. So Mike, send me some more coffee. Mike, is there anything else you want to say? Is there anything you want to update people on?
I'm gonna sign off and see you guys all soon. And I'm gonna go back to moving in the rest of the stuff into my new rig, and maybe I'll even get a backdrop I can put the new truck on.
All right, we'll be looking forward to that. And I'm gonna see you soon, right, bro?
Absolutely.
We're gonna party like it's 2099.
That's right.
All right, everybody. You know what I'm gonna say. Stay safe, tread lightly, and hopefully I'll see you here or on the trail soon.
You have been listening to Waypoint Overland's Random Waypoints. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.